2, 1.
Hey, Steven! How's
Hey,
it going?
Megan.
Good to see you. Can I come in?
Come on in.
All right, I brought some friends with me. Come on in.
Pardon our dust, we're moving.
They just moved into this house last week, and as you can see, it is absolutely adorned with travertine and custom stair rails and super high ceilings and marble, and the kitchen's new, the bathrooms have all been redone. So this was quite a steal. Hey, Shannon, how's it going? Hey, Shannon, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you too. I brought some friends with me today because they had some questions. Can I take a couple minutes? Come on in. So how are you guys? You just moved in, I can tell, with all of the boxes.
Yeah.
We're a little tired, but I'm sure good.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to meet us.
Actually, it's nice to break. I know.
Oh, really?
I got to take a shower.
Exactly. You get rest, right?
Yeah. Well, I have just a few questions for you. Okay. So, how did we meet? Do you remember how you picked me as your realtor?
Shannon picked you. Both, we saw your picture everywhere in our neighborhood, and our neighborhood was your neighborhood. And so every time we drove and saw a house for sale, it was you guys.
And you thought, maybe
You must be good.
So then I remember it was like, Christmas break, so I had a little bit of time, and I was like, well, I'll call and see how it goes and see what we can put together, and if she might be willing to help us out, and if she can help with some introduction. But I called you, and I think we talked for like 45 minutes. She's so nice. I was like, great, she's so enthusiastic. She totally understood what I was looking for, and so it was, I don't know, it was a match. It was. And it's important. I mean, people, you never know how long the process is going to take. Yeah, obviously. Well, and that brings us to how long do you think that we list the house? So we started around January, and after our closed in this house, late August. So 7.5 months or so. And we did, I mean, you guys were diligent about looking. I mean, I was online every night. I was like addicted. Yeah. You don't want to miss anything.
I would say she was online for at least 2 hours looking at houses, sometimes more, every day.
Every time I came up.
Longer on Saturdays and Sundays.
And so, like, I sent you listings from the MLS. So when there was a new listing that came up, you got it right away, I got it right away, and you used listing books that I gave you an account for, but you also used some other websites too. But you did thorough homework, and then you called me when you found one or two or three that you thought would meet your criteria. Yeah. And we looked just about every week. Yeah, as long as there was something up, we went. And we went out and we looked at 4 or 5 houses, sometimes 2, but a couple days there were like 8 or 9, I think, that we hit at the very beginning, as we were still trying to figure out what neighborhoods and what exactly we were looking for. Some days were big days, and then when we got better at identifying what was online and what that really meant for what it was going to be in person, I think we were able to narrow it down a little bit better.
Because there was always a lot of houses, but we kind of had to make sure that they were on the right side of the tracks, as it were.
Yeah.
Where
as a teacher, I'm really concerned about what the school districts are. So from the website, I was able to see, like, what are the school districts like, what are the neighborhoods like, what's the traffic going to be. I was able to see the pathways to get to work, because I could go on, on Google Earth and find out, like, where are the major streets and where are the highways. And so you're very technologically advanced, because that is your job.
Yeah.
Yes, you both work for the school district in Anaheim. And would you say we probably look at, I think at least 75 houses.
Yeah, at least.
At least. I don't want to over-exaggerate, but I think that's a pretty solid number. So, in all of the time that we spent together and all the houses we looked at, we had a lot of heart-to-heart conversations. We were trying to whittle things down and really decide what was important. But did you feel like at any time that I put pressure on you because I wanted you to, like, hurry up and pick something? No, in fact, like, I
we put in an offer. And I kind of freaked out when I got home and thought, I don't want to buy that house. And I called you up and told you, you're really great about it. Saying, okay, I'll call him.
And that was
we're not
scary
gonna...
too because, it was like a huge decision. And then as soon as we talked to you, you were like, well, that's the way you feel, and that's great. And it was so relieving because now
You were nervous to tell me.
And then that house is like three blocks up, and I drive by it like, I don't know, every other day or so, and I just go, they don't live there.
I know. It was quite the process to find just the right house.
Yeah.
And now we were in escrow with the house before we got this one. We were in escrow, and what happened there?
A very thorough home inspector found a lot of problems. About at least $50,000 worth of problems would have had to be fixed before we moved in.
Like foundation problems.
Yeah, problems with the foundation, unreported termite damage, just a lot of stuff.
Code violations that weren't even, things that were not okay with the city or the county at all that would have cost us money to build.
And I recommended that inspector to you, right?
You did, and we're very, very happy.
Yeah, he was a great inspector. A little lengthy, but you definitely knew
But
the house intimately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was really good for us.
Yeah. And so when we found out about all of these problems with that house, what was our approach? I think we got estimates. We were trying to be reasonable.
Right.
So we got estimates to repair everything. And I met the contractors out there on a couple different occasions to get the estimates together so that we would know how much it would cost to fix these things so that we could reasonably approach the seller and come up with a solution.
Right.
And when we did that, the seller said, go pound sand.
Basically. Yeah, basically.
We don't care if our house is falling off the foundation.
Yeah. They acted like all the things we found made no difference in the price, which made me feel like they weren't disclosing, but that's another story.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you find that much damage and they tell you just take it or leave it, we chose to leave it.
We left it. And we got all of our money back. We did. Of course, we didn't get back money for inspections and that sort of thing, but it was well worth it to not be stuck with the house.
Yeah, that's another house that I drive by, and I'm thinking, I'm really glad we don't have that house.
And that house was the same price as this house.
Right.
And
we had planned to completely tear down and remodel the kitchen.
right.
And this kitchen has marble in it.
I know.
How are they both priced
Exactly.
the same price?
Yeah, well, all these bathrooms are remodeled and so
Yeah.
far better purchase.
This house is so much bigger, and that house is
That house had a bigger lot.
literally maybe a half a mile away from here.
Yeah,
So the neighborhoods are the same,
yeah.
but that house needed so much remodeling.
Who would have done,
Yeah.
Thank God we found this one.
Yeah.
Well, and we did have a lot of challenges in escrow, for some things that need to be done, but we did work together and got everything done. And
Well, that was one of the things too that was helpful because we did have some issues with our loan people and
The flood zone.
so we had some issues with that, and I felt like they weren't calling us back or they weren't communicating with us in a way that was helpful to us to make things happen. And you were really great about expediting that. And I'd call you and I'd be like, hey, I'm really frustrated because I don't feel like they're listening to me or they're not answering my call. And you'd be like, all right, I'm going to take care of this. You call me back half an hour later, it's done. So I'm going to get this. So that was really great that you took that on for us. And it was such a, it was a huge stress relief for me to know that if it got down to it, I just needed to call you and you were totally willing to go to bat for us and make sure that things were happening the way that they should have been happening. And it was really great too because sometimes I was like, I think this is not the way that things are supposed to happen and it makes me a little uncomfortable. And you were able to say, yeah, this isn't right, or just say, yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit longer and this is what's happening. And so you were really, I know I have tons of questions all the time and I really want to know.
you're very inquisitive.
You knew the answers. You knew the answers, so.
I love clients like you. I really get my brain body moving, you know?
Yeah. Well, even like we drive down the street and you're like, what kind of tree is that? I kind of like it. And you know the answer. You know? So it was like,
Megan
it was
knows
like
her
driving
trees
around.
grow.
It was like driving around with a real estate encyclopedia.
I know. I'm kind of dweeby that way. I do know about trees.
Oh, no, you need to tear that one out. It'll ruin your sewer line.
And
It was useful information.
Yeah.
So,
and we looked, where did we look? We looked in Fullerton, Brea,
even all the way to La Habra.
Placentia, La Habra, Orange, Tustin,
Santa Ana, theoretically, I don't know.
and
North
North.
Seattle.
Kind of north of
Santa Ana.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good. Well, I really appreciate your time today answering my questions. So, with all of that, I mean, do you think you feel comfortable referring me to people that you know at work or family or
Absolutely.
the people that are watching this video?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
thank
I'll
you.
be back in a couple weeks to see what it looks like when it's out of the box.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.